World Antibiotic Awareness Week. Now, it's aimed at heightening awareness of global antibiotic resistance. The public, health workers and policymakers are encouraged to avoid overuse of the drugs. To tell us more, we're joined from our Cape Town studio by pharmacist and complementary medicine expert, Julia Criscolo. Julia, very good evening and thanks for your time. Recently, over the past couple of years, we've been seeing growing concern about the overprescribing and overuse of antibiotics. Do you share that concern?
Yes, absolutely, Yuveka. I've definitely noticed it. Even working as a locum in retail, I notice a lot of prescriptions for antibiotics. And a lot of the time it's really unnecessary, but there is pressure. People are busy, they have this perception that they can't afford to get sick, they've got to get the antibiotic and get better, and that really is a misperception.
Well, let's clear it up then, Julia. Let's talk about what the actual purpose of antibiotics are and how they can be correctly used.
Well, an antibiotic either kills the bacteria or it stops the bacteria replicating. And notice it is antibacterial. Now, most colds and flus are actually caused by viruses. In fact, most upper respiratory tract infections are caused by viruses. That's including sinus infections, ear infections, bronchitis, and your average cold and flu. So an antibiotic does not work against viruses. And so by taking an antibiotic when it's not needed, you really create problems down the line, because it's first of all not going to be effective, and secondly you create greater potential for resistance by bacteria to the antibiotic.
So in what case, when would somebody know? I mean, as we're seeing now, it's the doctors who are overprescribing. You know, it's in their hands. If a doctor tells me this is what I need, I'm going to believe him or her. So when should a patient actually use their sort of knowledge or discretion and say, but do I really need this? How should they be feeling to know if they actually need an antibiotic?
Well, of course, education is the most important. So this program is really great to make people aware that most of the upper respiratory tract infections are actually caused by viruses, and then also to not put pressure on your doctor to get the script. And for the patient to understand that if they take some time to rest, you know, dose up with liposomal and vitamin C, take good care of themselves, maybe take vitamin D spray, rest, you know, good old chicken soup, that actually is more beneficial, because it will take about 10 days on average for the whole episode to resolve. If in any way you are immune compromised, then yes, you are much more prone to secondary infection, and an antibiotic would be appropriate. But for the average person who's generally well, bed rest, taking care of yourself, taking good dose of vitamin C is often enough. But many people don't rest because they're so busy, they've got to get back to work, and there's no time to take a break. And then what happens is the immune system becomes compromised and the infection lingers for a longer time, and then eventually they do get a secondary infection and have to go on antibiotics. So by staying healthy and well, you can prevent that happening.
Now, Julia, we know a lot of people are turning to alternative remedies. We kind of want to go the more natural route as well. So, I mean, let's just weigh up those two when it comes to sort of new drugs or looking for other cures or ways to deal with our symptoms, and then going the natural route and letting the body just fight it. I know of a lot of people who'd rather just do that.
Yes, and there's great wisdom in that, because the body is so intelligent. It knows what to do. It's got a whole immune system, army, fighting the viruses. So it's really intelligent, but it needs our help. And what does that look like? Rest, taking care of yourself, de-stressing, eating light foods, and then it's been proven that high dose of vitamin C, especially liposomal vitamin C, and also vitamin D sprays, actually reduces the period of the whole episode, and so you get better quicker. And also, if you take supplements on a regular basis, it actually makes your immune system stronger, so that if you get exposed to a virus, you're less likely to actually get infected by that virus. Because if your immune system is strong, even if you're exposed to a virus, you won't get sick, because your body's naturally killing off any invaders before they get a chance to, lock into your system.
Okay, do we have a right then to say to our doctor, I actually don't want this antibiotic, what else can you suggest for me?
Yes. Absolutely, you do. As long as you take responsibility and rest and do, as I say, do the other things, take some time off work if necessary. So take responsibility, but absolutely you can say to your doctor, you prefer not to have antibiotic. And actually, I find even in retail, a doctor might write a script and the mother will say, hang on with the antibiotic, let me try the other stuff first, and if I need it, I'll come back. So a lot of parents and people do often hold back on the antibiotic, and I think that's very wise, because also, Yuveka, antibiotics are really not good for our system. They really disturb the balance of the good bacteria in the gut. So taking them without discretion has deleterious effects on the body. So it's not a great thing to do, just willy-nilly. You need to really use your discretion and only take it if absolutely necessary.
I've seen a range of natural or what's purported to be natural antibiotics out there, Julie. I mean, what do we know about that, and how safe are those to take?
Yeah, Nature's Pharmacy provides so many amazing herbal remedies that have wonderful properties. So again, one should use your discretion, make an informed choice, because natural doesn't always mean safe. So be aware of what you're taking. There are a lot of things like oregano oil, olive leaf, echinacea. These are well-known remedies that have been used for many centuries or years, and they have been researched and are known to have antibacterial, antiviral and antifungal properties. But quality is really important. So if you are going into your local pharmacy or health shop, then really ask questions. Where is this made? Look at the milligram of the active ingredients and make sure that you are getting enough of the active ingredient to actually have an effect, because that's also important. But Nature's Pharmacy is really trustworthy, and there's a lot of wonderful remedies available that have natural antibiotic properties.
Thanks very much. Sound advice there. That's pharmacist and complementary medicine expert Julia Criscolo. Well,